We are continuing on our introduction to Blender series. In this video, we are going to introduce you to materials, how material works, how you can create basic materials like metal, glass, plastic, and how you can use the subsurface scattering method and create a skin-like shader for materials like clay, etc. So without any delay, let's jump into Blender. I have opened Blender here, and as you guys can see, I have loaded a model here, which I have downloaded from Blender Kit. So if you are new to Blender, you just need to go to blenderkit.com, download their plugin, add it in your add-ons, and then you will have this Blender kit. I have already purchased it, but it gives like really good models for free. So you can just type sculpture here and just download the sculpture that you want to practice materials and lightings. Okay. So let's just close this right now. So we are just going to close this here. Okay. And now before starting the material part, I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. So I have assigned some quick selections here. So if I press the Q key here, you can see I have the lock camera to view, walk navigation and scale as well. Okay. By pressing the Q key. Q is for quick favorites. So you can do it as well. So let's say if I press the 0 key here. Okay. But I want to create a camera. So let's just create a camera here quickly. So let's just go to camera. And now you can see we have created this camera. Okay, let's just press Alt R so we can reset the rotation here. Okay, let's just press the G key and X key so we can move upwards here. Okay, let's just now, let's say you want to go into the camera view, you can press the 0 key as well. Okay, or else what you can do, you can rotate this as well by pressing the G key. Okay, then press the R key here so you will have the rotation. And if I press the X key, you can see we are rotating here. Okay, now let's press 0 key. So now you can see we are seeing this view. Okay, now in order to move your camera in the view, you need to go here. Okay, then you need to go to view and then you need to make sure that you have the camera to view option turned on. But let's say you don't need to go again and again here, then what you can do, you can just right click here and just assign it to quick favorites. Okay, so now if I press the Q key, I have this lock camera to view. And now I can just zoom out and you can see I'm getting this result. Okay, so let's just adjust this here by holding the shift and middle mouse button. And I have this sculpture here. Okay, we can rotate it as well. Okay, something like this. Okay, let's just do it something like this here. Okay, let's just do something like this because I don't want to see the sculpt. Okay, bottom, and there you go. Now in order to go out of this view, again you need to press the Q key and just turn off this lock camera to view. And now if you go to perspective, you have this camera set as well. Okay, let's just press the N key here so we hide that menu. So this how the quick selection comes really in handy. We are going to use this lot when we are going to learn lighting, and then we are going to create some projects as well. So let's just now concentrate on material. Okay, in order to view the material and in order to see the preview that how materials are working with the help of light, we are going to expand this one viewport to two viewports here. So let's just click here and we are going to just do something like this. I'm going to keep this view my camera view. So I'm going to press the 0 key here. Okay, and then I'm going to press the home key. So it is going to basically adjust it to according to my resolution here, and it is going to zoom in as per the viewport size. Okay, now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch here from basic shaded to let's say our lighting view. Okay, our render view. So you can do it by pressing the Z key and just clicking on rendered here. Okay, as soon as I do it, you can see it's basically calculating the shaders here and it's using the Eevee render engine by default. But in order to get realistic results in materials, we are going to switch it to cycles here. So let's just go to our render here. And we are going to switch from Eevee to let's say cycles. Now let's just again switch the view to shaded here for right now. Now I'm going to do some settings before again seeing the render here. So I have a really good GPU. I'm using a 4070 Ti Super. It's a 16 GB GPU. So I'm going to switch to GPU compute. But if you don't have a good GPU, you can use the CPU as well. Doesn't matter. I'm going to decrease the maximum samples here to let's say 32 so I can see the render quickly. And I'm going to turn on the denoise here. Okay. We are not going to render it out right now. We are just going to learn how material works. Okay. So these are the settings that I do. Then I go to my world here. I don't want to have this background. So if I go again to my render view, okay, by pressing the Z and rendered, you can see I'm getting this black result, but I don't want this color as well. So I'm going to go to my color and I'm going to make it pure black. Okay, so in order to see that there is no light here. Okay, now let's add the light. Now if you don't want to see the grid and this thing, then you can turn this off here as well and you will only see the render here. Okay, now you can see we are not seeing anything because there is no light into our scene. So let's just add a area light by pressing the shift A, and let's just go to light and let's just add a area light here. Okay, going to press the G key here. I'm going to press the Z and I'm just going to take it upwards, and now you can see we are having this light here. Okay, now I'm going to switch my color configuration here. From color management, I'm going to go to AGX. So I have some really good results in my highlights as well. So if you don't have AGX, just turn it to AGX here. Okay, I'm going to move my light here. So just going to press the T key, open the transform, and now I'm going to select the move tool and I'm just going to move the light here as well. You can see the light here now. Okay, we are just going to rotate it here. Okay, something like this. Okay, you can see the part here, and now let's just increase the light. So let's just click on this light icon here. From 10, let's just go to maybe 50, and now you can see the light that is happening here. Okay, let's just take it to 200, and now you can see the light here as well. Let's just make the light bigger by pressing the S key. Okay, and let's just make it bigger here so we can see the result here, and now you can see we are seeing something like this here. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, now let's just start with our material, but before doing that, let's just move the light in the sideways here, something like this. You can then rotate it here as well. So let's just rotate it here. Okay, let's just do something like this so we get the light in the front as well. Okay, this is nice. So let's just start with this. Okay, I'm just going to go to 300 as well. You can go higher in the values of the light as well, and now you can see this is looking really good. Okay, now let's just apply a default material and let's learn how you can create different basic materials. We are not going to cover diffuse map and all that stuff. We are going to cover it in another lesson. But right now we are going to learn how you can create plastic, glass, metal, clay material with the help of the basic shader. Okay, so let's just click on this sculpt here. And if I go to this material properties, you can see we already have lots of material that are applied here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just delete all the materials out here. Okay, so I'm just going to remove all the materials that are applied here. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that we don't have any material applied. So now you can see we are having a blank material here on our cat. Okay, so now you can see we can see the material which is applied here. I don't want to see whatever I have out of my camera view. So what I can do, I can just go to my camera and go to my viewport display here. And I'm going to make sure that I have the passed out to set to 1. So I don't see anything outside my camera. Now let's create a material. So let's just click here. Okay, let's just go to material and I'm going to click on new here. As soon as I do it, you can see we have applied this white material here. Okay, I can show you that how you can change the color of it. So if I click on this base color means the color that you have on your basically object. So if I click on this base color here, I can change the color now. And you can see our material is getting changed here. See, okay. Now let's say I'm liking this blue result here. Then you can see there is a metallic tab, there is a roughness tab, there is index of refraction. IOR stands for index of refraction. You can find different values on the internet by searching in Google. Index of refraction of wood, index of refraction of plastic. You can just type that realistic values here. Then you have the subsurface which you use for the candle. So if you put your fingers on the flashlight, you will see that the finger is transparent. That is what we call subsurface. Then we have the specular, which we use for roughness and all that stuff. Then we have the transmission, which we basically use for glass. Then we have coat, which we use to add a separate coat like we see in the car material. Okay. Then we have the emission, which will basically be a emissive material. But right now, let's create a plastic material. So I'm going to have a base color, let's say of red here. Okay, you can see I have this red color here. And now I'm going to make sure that if I want a clean plastic or maybe a shiny plastic, I will just reduce the roughness here. And now you can see we are having that shine in the plastic here. Okay, now let's say if you want a rough plastic, you can just increase this value around 0.2 or 0.3. And now you can see we are having this plastic value. Let's just take this value to somewhere around like this so you can see the result as well. Okay. So this is how roughness works. So if you want a shiny material, you need to take the roughness to 0. And if you want a rough material, you just need to increase it from zero point 0.2 to let's say zero point 0.5 as well. Okay. Now you have this index of refraction, so you can search on the internet that what should be the value of plastic. Okay, if I do 1.2 here, you can see we are getting a smooth plastic like result. Okay, if I do 1.33, it's basically IOR of a glass. Okay, so you can play with the index of refraction. You just need to search on internet, and let's just search for index of refraction. Okay, and let's just press enter, and here you can see you have this all the stuff what is index of refraction. Now you can go type here index of refraction of plastic and press enter, and you can say it's basically range between 1.3 and 1.7. Okay, so let's just if let's say if we are going for acrylic plastic, it's 1.498. So you can just type here 1.498. Okay, and now you can see the result, and I'm going to make sure that it is having some shine. So let's just do 1.5. Okay, so you can see the result now. So this is how you can create a plastic material. Now let's move on to another material, which is metal. Okay, let's say we want to create a gold material. So we can just go for, let's say, rose gold we want to create. So we can just go for a rose gold here. Okay, something like this. Okay, then what I can do, I can just increase the metallic value to 1. See, now guys, remember always either the material is metal 1 or material is non-metal 0. Don't keep it in between until and unless you want a stylized type of material. Okay, only use 0 or 1 in metallic. Okay, now you can see we are getting this result. So let's just increase the roughness to let's say 0.3, and now you can see we are getting this rose gold metal material. Okay, we can increase the light here. So let's just take from 300 to 400. So you can see the result here as well. Okay, and now let's just add some background color as well. Okay, so let's just do something like this so you can see the result here properly. Okay, so now you can see this is how material is working. So let's just again go to our object, select our object, and let's just go to material again. Okay, if you want a gold material, again you can do the same stuff here. Okay, you can see we are getting this gold material here as well. Okay, so this is how you can create some metal material. Let's say you want a white material. Okay, you can just go here, and now you can see we are having this silver material as well. We are just looking at basic materials, how it is working. We are going to create some advanced procedural materials as well in some more videos. Okay, so metal, if you change from here to 1 0, okay, IOR doesn't affect when you turn the metalness to 1. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the value you put here. Okay, so whenever you are creating a metal, now let's say you want to create a glass here. Okay, how you can do that? Again, it's really easy. Okay, let's say you want a metal which is a shiny metal. You can just do 0. And now you can say it's a shiny metal, but it's not looking good. So always have a roughness of like 0.1 here. Okay, and it is going to look good. Okay, so now you can see. And now let's say you want a coat upon this material here. So you can do that as well. Just go to your coat here. Okay, you can add the weight of 1, and now you can see we are having this coat applied onto our material here. So here you can see as well. Okay, so you can add a coat here. So it will add a coat like we add on the carpent material. Okay, it's the same thing. Now let's just do this to 0. Okay, now let's create a glass material. So in order to create a glass material, you need to do the metallic to 0 again. Okay, just go to transmission and make sure that the weight is turned to 1 here. Okay, as soon as I do this, you can see it's basically a rough glass. Okay, so if I take my roughness to let's say 0, you can see we are getting this glass shader here. Okay, so let's just take the base color to let's say black, and now you can see we are having this black glass. So I generally take it to white whenever I'm creating it. And if we check the IOR of glass, so let's just check here IOR of glass. Okay, let's just press enter, and you can see it's 1.5 here. Okay, so let's just do 1.5. Okay, and now you can see we are getting this glass effect, a pure glass without any roughness. Okay, let's just do a roughness of maybe 0.2. Okay, and now you can see this result here. Okay, so this is looking really good here. Okay, you are getting that rough glass here. Now let's create one last material before ending this session, which is our subsurface material. So let's just go to subsurface here. We are going to increase the weight to, let's say, 1 here. I'm just going to make sure that our transmission is set to 0. And now you can see we are getting that clay look here. Okay, so let's just do a clay color of something like this here. Okay, let's do something like this. Let's just make it darker here. And now you can see we are getting that clay look here. Okay, so let's just do the roughness of 0.4. And now you can see we have this clay material here. It is looking really good. So this is how you can basically use the subsurface. You can increase the radius as well, decrease the radius depending on what you want to have. And now you can see in the ears as well. So this is the result that you get when you put the flashlight onto your finger here. Okay, so this is the same result that you are getting now. Okay, so this is how you can create some really good basics material with the help of a blender materials. Okay, in next video we are going to cover how you can use the lighting system, how you can light your own products here. Okay, we are going to continue with our beginner series here, and then we are going to move to some complex projects and complex materials, procedural materials. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please press that like button, share it with your friends who wants to learn Blender, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care, guys.